Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. It's the simple things in life, like learning all again. It's the simple things in life, like finding where it all began. Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Now we going back, breathing on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down.
Hey, welcome back. We are back. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed Bishop's class yesterday. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love that stuff. Anyway.
Hold on, man. I hope they enjoy your class.
Roy.
Oh, no, the
Yeah.
All praises. Yes, sir. All praises.
What the hell's wrong with these guys, man? Where the clap at?
Me dad's leaving us. Me dad's gonna be gone, so here we go.
He don't care no more.
Yeah. This guy crazy, man.
Anyways, all praise to the Most High for that.
He's basically saying he don't like your class.
Damn. Damn, it's all right. All praises for that class as well. I didn't even finish, man. I got more to go. I got way more to go, but Lord's will, I'll do a part 3 eventually after some other classes come around. I'll probably merge into another class. But anyway, you are now tuned into
Our Hidden History Radio Show.
All right. We're just gonna just jump right into the topic.
Hey, make sure y'all sharing the show as well. All right,
share,
make sure we share the show. Subscribe.
Share, subscribe, and don't forget to donate as well. The QR code is in the corner of the screen. I'm not gonna do it because I always mess it up. But it's wherever you see that QR code, donate. All right, you know how we do. I always say it over time. We're very transparent. When we say we're gonna do something, we do it. We don't play games. None of us up here driving Bentleys. Because if I did, I would sell it and pay my mortgage in advance. If I owned a damn Bentley. Anyways, all praise to the Most High for that. Let's just move on. Let's jump into Job, Book of Job, chapter 12. We're going to jump into the robbers of our people, the robbers of lands and people. We touched on the Chinos a few weeks ago. We touched on the East and West India companies, the Dutch East and West India companies that were run by Amalek, run by the Israelis. Today, covertly, I want to say covertly, but you can say that. No, not really, because during that time we were slaves, so they didn't think we were gonna find out. We weren't allowed to read, so now that we're allowed to read and access the records and all the names and stuff, now all of a sudden, it's a bit different now, So, those shipping companies were heavily, vital to the growth and wealth of European or white supremacy, pretty much. America's finances, Europe's finances. They pretty much gained the so-called white man, pretty much the European man gained a high level of wealth through those trading companies on both sides of the ocean. A lot of black blood was shed. A lot of black lives were ruined and destroyed, and were shipped over by the boatloads across the Atlantic, as well as the Pacific Ocean. We touched on that, and we're going to continue to go into that. There's this movement right now going on called the FBA. Some of y'all are familiar with it. Some of you may be involved in that now. The Foundational Black Americans, where they talk about, Black Americans did this and did that, and they're seeking reparations for Black Americans. And basically, if you're a foundational Black American, you're entitled to reparations. If you're not a foundational Black American, if you're of Caribbean descent, whether it be, so-called Jamaican or Haitian or whatever, you're not considered to be part of that, that group or demographic. I guess you could say that they pretty much exclude any non-African American people. And of course, this movement, it says foundational Black Americans are the proud descendants of the Black men and women who endured and survived one of the greatest atrocities in human history, American slavery. These resilient ancestors built the United States from the ground up, laying the foundation for the nation's economic, political, and cultural development. However, the rich history of FBA did not begin in 1619 with the arrival of the enslaved Black people in Virginia. It began nearly a century earlier. Go down. In 1526, Spanish colonizer Lucas Vasquez.
I got it.
Go ahead.
In 1526, Spanish colonizer Lucas Vasquez de Ayllón brought the first documented enslaved black people to the shores of what is now the South Carolina and Georgia coastline. Shortly after their arrival, can y'all turn my mic up? Shortly after their arrival, these enslaved black people courageously revolted against their captors, leading to the collapse of the Spanish settlement. The surviving Spaniards retreated to the Caribbean, leaving behind the liberated black people. These freed black people integrated, These freed black people integrated with local Native American societies.
Okay, so, so these freed black people integrated with local Native American societies. So these Native Americans and these black people here, they got together, they intermarried, and they established colonies and foundations. Let's continue. But the point is here is that this article alone would involve Native Americans. It would involve them.
They exclude Native Americans?
Yeah, they exclude pretty much anyone that's not African American. Native Americans were heavily involved in them in their integration here.
And they're black.
Right, and the Native Americans also conquered and colonized and enslaved. They were reclassified based upon their physiognomy, or phenotype, as they say, and were reclassified as Negroes and were shipped in these same areas here, the South Carolina, Georgia, or whatever. So what happens with them? But let's continue. Go ahead.
Marking a pivotal and often overlooked chapter in the lineage and cultural evolution of foundational black Americans.
Right, marking a pivotal and an overlooked chapter in lineage because the natives and blacks merged in lineage. They merged together. A lot of the Seminole Indians, which were black as well, they made a lot of black Americans chiefs and so forth, and the white man said, keep them as slaves. They came back and found us with babies, and we were leaders, and we mingled together. We mingled a lot. It was the same people. The Native Americans and Negroes are the same people. And the reason why I'm touching on this at this time is because as I've gone over this history these past few, I would say, months, the slave trade is so vast. They shipped our people from the Pacific Ocean all the way to the Americas, okay, around this same time here. The Portuguese, the Spanish, they were shipping us over here by the boatloads from different parts of the world, from the Pacific Ocean, the galleon ship, the Manila slave port, slaves taken from India and from Japan and China, and from the Philippines and brought over here to work slave labor. They would be pretty much under the category of being involved in the foundation of black Americans. Now, of course, they may not have fallen under that name African American, but they were definitely involved in the foundational building of America. So I just find it a bit. It's a bit divisive to me. It's divisive to me because it's okay. The hell with you Jamaicans and Haitians. You got your own battle. But let's continue.
Since that defining moment in 1526, the culture and identity of foundational black Americans have been deeply rooted in building resilience, resistance, and an unwavering fight for justice. The spirit of perseverance and ingenuity has shaped every aspect of American society, from infrastructure and agriculture to music, art, and political activism. FBA are an exceptional people whose enduring legacy continues to inspire generations. It is important to clarify that foundational black Americans, FBA, is not a group or an organization, and there is no designated leader of FBA.
So it's not really an organization. So it's disorganized already. It's no structure really. If this is true, if this article is accurate, there really is no structure. It's a bunch of black people saying that they're FBA. Okay, but go ahead.
FBA is a lineage-based designation that specifically refers to the over 43 million black Americans who are direct descendants of the freedmen, the formerly enslaved black people who were emancipated in the United States. This lineage represents a unique and unbroken connection to the foundational builders of this nation. We honor and celebrate the rich history, cultural contributions, and unyielding strength of the foundational black Americans. This recognition is not only a tribute to our ancestors, but also a commitment to preserving and advancing the legacy they established.
Can you go back up real quick to that Spaniard, Vasquez Ayllón, and look up his name? Look him up, please. Lucas Vasquez. That name looks familiar. I've come across that name before.
Dig.
He like the first founder of South Carolina.
Dig. So what happened to the slave that went to Liberia? So do they get reparation too?
Cap, you lost. You had me there. I don't know. Liberia, they're called Libero-Americans.
Right. So what happened to them?
Libero-Americans. I don't know what happens to them. I guess they just get, they're on their own. I guess I don't know. Just continue. Read on.
Lucas Vasquez de Ayllón, 1480-1526, was a Spanish magistrate and explorer who, in 1526, established the short-lived San Miguel de Guadalupe colony, one of the first European attempts at a settlement in what is now the United States. Ayllón's account of the region inspired a number of later attempts by the Spanish and French governments to colonize the southeastern United States.
Jump down to in Hispaniola. I don't care about his education.
In Hispaniola, in 1502, the Spanish monarch Saint Nicholas de Ovando.
Nicholas de Ovando was a conqueror. That dude was killing a whole bunch of Native Americans. I remember him. Ovando. I remember him very well. Ovando. Go ahead.
To serve as governor of Hispaniola in the Indies.
Yeah, he was conquering Simeon. Go ahead.
Ayllón accompanied Ovando's flotilla and arrived at the capital, Santo Domingo, in April 1502. In 1504, Ayllón was appointed alcalde mayor.
Get to the part where he brings his slaves over. I want to see who he brought them from.
Alcalde mayor.
Alcalde mayor or something?
Mayor,
Oh,
governor.
okay. Chief magistrate.
Yeah. Yep.
Go down some. Go down a little bit.
Reyes.
Exploration.
Let me see. Oh, wait. Go to around 1514. Right there.
Around 1514, Ayllón married Ana de Bazera, daughter of a wealthy miner, thus gaining wealth and prestige to add to his political power. He also acquired a sugar plantation and funded various slave trading ventures. Some colonists complained that Ayllón and the other judges were unfairly dominating the slave market and driving up the price of slaves.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to see what he got. I'm going to see where he got them from. Read next one.
When Ferdinand died in 1516, Cardinal Francisco Jimenez de Cisneros became regent for the young King Charles V.
The hell was that, man?
Yeah, I'm trying, man. Cisneros was determined to end the abuse of the Indians.
Of the Indians, so they were enslaving them too. Go ahead.
He had, Ayllón and the other judges of the Aducia, suspended in 1517 and Audiencia suspended in 1517 and investigated for alleged.
Go down. Try to see where he got this slave from. Let me see. Exploration. Wait. Read that there.
In addition,
No, after.
After Ayllón's reinstatement to the Audiencia, a ship arrived at Santo Domingo sometime around August 1521. The pilot, Francisco Gordillo, had been hired by Ayllón to lead a slaving expedition to the Bahamas.
Yeah, so it was chopping up Native Americans. Bahamas slaving expedition is capturing natives and making them slaves. A slaving expedition. That's what Columbus did over here too. Go ahead.
Finding the islands completely depopulated.
Yeah, they were murdering and killing and enslaving them off and selling them off as slaves. Native Americans, go ahead.
Gordillo and Pedro.
Understand, these Native Americans became Latinos. When the Spaniards conquered them and taught them Spanish, they became Latinos, who also intermingled with the black Americans that these guys are referring to back in the article earlier. They intermingled. So I don't understand. I'm just very confused about this whole pro-Afro-American thing because the blacks who were enslaved, read on. It's going to say here. I'm just going to be quiet. Read on. It's going to be the next paragraph. Read on.
Finding the island completely depopulated, Gordillo and Pedro de Quesos, pilot of another slaving ship.
They put Native Americans on. Go ahead. And blacks. Go ahead.
Sailed northwest in search of land rumored to be found in that direction. On June 24, 1521, they made landfall at Winyah Bay on the coast of present-day South Carolina.
Okay.
At some preliminary exploration of the region, they kidnapped 60 Indians.
They were on a slaving expedition. They were kidnapping natives throughout these islands and enslaving them. Go ahead. They kidnapped 60 Indians. Go ahead.
And took them back to Hispaniola.
And took them back to DR to work as slaves. And they brought blacks over there too. So this is 1526 right here. All right, read on.
In addition to the Indian.
1521 right here. Go ahead.
In addition to the Indian slaves.
The what?
The Indian slaves.
Indian slaves. Go ahead.
Gordillo and Quesos.
They're going to say that the Native Americans got reparations because they got the casinos. Even though those casinos are ran by 5% Indians.
Nah, they not the real.
Those aren't the real ones. Those is the white ones. The white man that came up over here. You know, Northern Kingdom. You know, they were prone to letting Esau lay with them, marry into their families, and then take over the land. If you watch the movie called Killers of the Flower Moon, that's Killers of the Flower Moon, most recent movie. Is very, very, very important. You watch that movie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Leonardo DiCaprio. It goes into how Israelis, by the way, it's Amalek, intermarrying with natives and basically killing off the Native American men, killing the men off.
The Osage tribe.
The Osage, yes.
Osage tribe.
Killing and this is an hour away from Black Wall Street.
Yep.
So while they're killing, they bombed us in an hour away. It's Oklahoma. So they bombing us. And this is 1920s. So they bombed us in Black Wall Street in an hour away. They were killing the Native Americans in this area here and taking the land because there was a bunch of rich with oil. You had Gad riding around with fancy cars. They had Edomite servants. But of course, that was short-lived. You know, we in captivity here, so that wasn't going to last forever. But you watch Killers of the Flower Moon, DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, they're basically so-calleds. They're basically so-calleds. All right, so let's go back to the article again.
In addition to the Indian slaves, Gordillo and Quesos brought back glowing reports of the land they had found. They said it would not require military conquest, and once settled, the area would become a rich and prosperous colony. Ayllón was apparently inspired by these reports and soon wrote to the Spanish crown, requesting permission to explore and settle the region. Later that same year, he traveled to Spain on business for the audiencia, but used the opportunity to personally press his case for the new land.
I don't want no more. I'm trying to figure out where he got the slaves from, the black slaves from. You go down? I mean, he got Native American slaves. I got that. That's fine. I also know where he got the black slaves from. Where did he bring them from is my question. Because then we can have an idea as to who 1526, the article says.
Hey, go out of this. You see something? Yes. Okay.
When you're Bay, August 9, yeah.
All right, all
Go
praise.
ahead, read that.
Establishment of San Miguel de Guadalupe in death. After Quesos' return, Ayllón began preparation for a voyage of settlement that he would lead personally. He spent his considerable fortune and incurred debt to outfit the expedition. He assembled a fleet of 6 vessels.
That's a lot of ships. Go ahead.
Carrying about 600 to 700 passengers and crew. Some women, children, and black enslaved people were included among the settlers.
Okay.
Supplies and livestock, including cows, sheep, pigs, and 100 horses, were loaded, and the fleet departed in mid-July 1526. The large colonizing group landed in Winya Bay on August 9, 1526. Their largest ship struck a sandbar and sank. There was no loss of life, but a major portion of their supplies was lost. Ayllón ordered a replacement vessel to be built, probably the earliest example of European-style boat building in what is now the United States.
All right, so it still is not saying, I mean, he came with passengers, but where he got them from is my question.
Go back. I think you got the.
Did he get them from Spain? Did he get them from Africa? That's what I'm wondering where, because I can have an idea where he got them from.
Hey, go ahead.
Because it's saying he came with the ships. It's saying he came with the ships, but where did he get the slaves from that he brought on the ships? That's what I'm wondering. So I don't want to spend too much time. Well, I do want to spend too much time on this because there's some good stuff here. But I just want to know where he got this. I don't know if he got them from Africa, then you know which group. Some kind of article.
Hey,
He got them from United States, from Savannah, and take them back to DR.
they made.
Sorry, that's it.
After an absence of 3 years, Ayllón returned to Santo Domingo around December 1524, and per his contract, began organizing an expedition to explore the southeastern coast of North America. He hired Quesos to lead a voyage consisting of 2 caravels and about 60 crewmen. They set sail in early April 1525, with instructions to explore 200 leagues, 640 nautical miles of coastland. Record necessary bearing and soundings. Erect stone markers bearing the names of Charles V and obtain Indians who might serve as guides and interpreters for future voyages. They made their first landfall on May 3rd, 1525, likely at the Savannah River. So from there, they continued north until reaching Winya Bay, the site of their original landing in 1521. It is not clear how much further north Quesos traveled, perhaps as far as Chesapeake Bay. He reported that the coast beyond Winya Bay was mostly sand dunes and pine scrub. The expedition returned to Santo Domingo in July 1525. So he got him from DR.
Okay.
That's what it's looking like.
It was from the mainland down to the Caribbean. He was going back and forth.
Back and forth. Yeah.
Okay, so he got them so he got natives from the mainland then. Natives are blacks from the mainland. He came with enslaved blacks, so that would be, I wonder where he got them from. The Native Americans he got from the mainland. He get the blacks from. Among the passengers were approximately 100 enslaved Africans. Okay, here we go. There we go. Among the passengers, read that.
Among the passengers were approximately 100 enslaved Africans from previous expeditions and trade.
There we go. So he got them from Africa. Okay. He got them from Africa. Got you. All right. I just wanted to just get that because that's FBA's source material regarding the blacks being brought over here from this Spaniard over here. Okay. Well, let's go to. It's all relative to the class anyway. Give me Job 12 and 7. Because the slaves being brought, well, no, not even long. The slave trade predates even that, in the 1440s. And they start bringing them over here around the 1490s. Job 12 and 6.
6 or 7, you said?
Sorry, verse 6. Start from verse 6.
Okay. The book of Job, chapter 12 and verse 6. The tabernacles of robbers prosper, and they that provoke God are secure, in whose hands God bringeth abundantly.
Read again.
The tabernacles of robbers prosper.
This is the so-called white man. We just read it earlier, a prosperous robbery here with this guy Ayllón, if that's how you pronounce his name, Ayllón, whatever. This guy is prosperous. All these Spaniards and conquistadors are very prosperous in their expeditions and their slave raiding expeditions. Go ahead.
The tabernacles of robbers prosper, and they that provoke God are secure.
They provoke God because they were taking and conquering and destroying God's people, and yet they remain secure. Go ahead.
Into whose hand God bringeth abundantly.
And God is behind them because God moved them to conquer us because we were being evil as hell and wicked as hell throughout the lands we were scattered in. Go ahead.
But ask now the beast, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee.
I mean, nature talks. Nature's a teacher. Go ahead.
Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee.
Go ahead.
And the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee. Who knoweth not in all these that the hand of the Lord hath wrought this, in whose hand is the soul of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind.
The Most High's behind it. Go ahead.
Doth not the ear try words, and the mouth taste his meat? With the ancient is wisdom.
The ancient, the words of God, the ancients is wisdom. Go ahead.
And in length of days, understanding.
And over time, as you grow older, understanding. Go ahead.
With him is wisdom.
With him is wisdom. Go ahead.
And strength. He hath counsel and understanding. Behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again. He shutteth up a man, and there can be no opening.
So the Most High is behind all of these things: the prospering of robbers, wisdom, understanding. The Most High is behind all these things. That's granted. Give me Isaiah 42 and 24.
I found a lick that tells you where he got the African slaves from.
Okay. All praises. Let's get that. Give me
the
Isaiah.
second lick. Oh, my bad.
Yes, yeah. Isaiah 42 and 24. I'm interested in that, yeah.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 42,
42
verse 24. Who gave Jacob for a spoil?
Who gave Jacob, the Israelites, which would be the so-called blacks and Native Americans you read about, throughout Santo Domingo, throughout the Bahamas, throughout the Americas, throughout Africa, and throughout all different parts of the world, the Indian Ocean, the Polynesian Islands. Who did what?
Who gave Jacob for a spoil?
Who gave Jacob for a spoil?
And Israel to the robbers.
And who put us in the hands of the robbers who became prosperous and secure? Go ahead.
Did not the Lord?
Did not who?
Did not the Lord?
Go ahead.
He against whom we have sinned?
He against whom we have sinned. That is the reason why they were able to be successful in these endeavors of enslaving us and conquering us. Go ahead.
For they would not walk in his ways.
We would not do what our God told us to do. And he warned us in advance. Listen, I'm going to have you guys enslaved. I'm going to have your land taken from you. I'm going to have your wives raped, your children snatched out your arms. I'm going to have you murdered, conquered. And we said, we don't believe you. God said, okay, you agreed to those terms. That if you keep my commandments, I'll bless you. You'll be rulers of the earth. But the moment you go against me and disrespect me, I'm going to have all of those that you rule over you. And we did not believe it. We did not take God seriously. Go ahead.
Neither were they obedient unto his law.
Go ahead.
Therefore, he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger.
Go ahead.
And the strength of battle.
Go ahead.
And it hath set him on fire round about.
Wherever we go, wherever we go, we're set on fire. We're conquered. Go ahead.
Yet he knew it not.
Yet we didn't care. Go ahead.
And it burned him.
Go ahead.
Yet he laid it not to heart.
Yeah, we didn't care. We did not care. We didn't lay it to heart. We still don't. We said, oh, God didn't do that. We just fell. We were disorganized. We fell. No. God's behind it. Everything that happened to our people throughout the Americas and throughout Africa, throughout Spain, Portugal, from the 1440s up until now, is of all divine design. Every ounce of it, every bit of it. From those being brought over here, from the Indian Ocean slave trade, Pacific Ocean, all the way to the Atlantic, was by divine design. There's no arguing about it. It's what it is. Now, get what you got, the article.
Lucas Vasquez de Ayllón was a Spanish conquistador and explorer who tried to start a colony in North America in 1526. He was the first European colonizer of what is now South Carolina. He attempted to settle the Carolina coast near the mouth of the PD River at Winya Bay was his attempt to settle the Carolina coast near the mouth of the PD River at Winya Bay was unsuccessful. Thought to have been born in Toledo, Spain in 1475, he grew up to become a planter and explorer.
Remember, the Khazars were in Toledo learning in our schools.
That's right.
So it's interesting.
Yep.
Working as a sugar planter on the Caribbean island of Hispaniola, he was sent on an expedition to Florida under Francisco Gordillo, who in June 1521 landed somewhere near Cape Fear in North Carolina.
Come on.
Continued to search for the Northwest Passage. Ayllón came up from Hispaniola again in 1524 and tried the James River and Chesapeake Bay. He received from King Charles V a grant of the land he had discovered, and in 1526 founded the settlement of San Miguel de Guandap. De Ayllón's expedition sailed from Hispaniola to South Carolina on 2 ships, which included African slaves. It would be the first instance of African slavery labor within the present territory of the United States. Ayllón's settlement lasted only about 3 months, during which time the 600 colonists endured hunger, disease, scarcity of supplies, and troubles with the local natives.
Of course.
In the end, the colony failed over a fight over leadership. During this turmoil, the slaves revolted and fled the colony to live among the Gadite tribe.
You should know that. Come on, I know you know how to pronounce it.
Kofutaki?
Yeah,
Kofutaki tribe.
Kofutaki tribe. Many colonists, including Lucas Vasquez de Ayllón, died of fever.
Hopefully it hurt. All
All
praises.
Only 150 survivors made their way back to Hispaniola. Ayllón's account of the region inspired several later attempts by the Spanish and French governments to colonize the southeastern United
So he
States.
got from Africa, basically.
Yeah, there were slaves that were taken to Hispaniola, and then when he would try to expand his colony, he
Yeah,
took
he
them from
went-
Hispaniola and took them with him. And then he died, and they left the black slaves.
We stayed in the States. Right. All right, so let's go back. So this man's success here is all God-driven. God was behind the success of these conquistadors, these conquerors, and our people. Like I said, we read earlier, they don't lay it to heart. They don't care. They believe that it was just just bad luck on black people. Just a coincidence that black people all over the world just went into slavery and were just scattered all over the world just by coincidence.
Hey, Deke, wouldn't that be Simeon that were enslaved here first? Because
Nah, bro, don't try that, man.
yeah, because there were. I've read even books where Gad was taken down to Hispaniola too. Because it was only a little bit. It wasn't that many blacks that came from Hispaniola.
Nah, it could be.
I don't know. I mean, I don't
that
know.
was in 1526. Hey, you don't know that? I live on the
You know what I'm saying? I live on the 5th floor. I don't know.
I don't know me.
But I'm saying that throws a wrench in what the FBA is trying to, you know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It could be pretty much Hispanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be Hispanics.
Because they were speaking Spanish, too.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man.
Yeah, South Carolina's like that. Yeah.
Because he took the slaves from Africa and brought them over to
Hispaniola.
to DR, and he took slaves from those islands over there and brought them with him to the United States.
And even natives, too.
And Native Americans brought them over together here, and they intermingled. And they failed the settlement. We revolted with the Native Americans, obviously, and we established a United States with Native Americans mingled together.
Yep.
So yeah, remnant. Could be a
So
remnant.
yeah, so it's like
It wasn't that many.
Yeah, it wasn't there,
Until
so it's like-
1619.
So he might,
Yeah.
So he might be Judah. Then.
No, he might be Simeon.
Yeah.
No, he might be Simeon, man.
yeah, you didn't gauge just hope.
No, he might be Simeon, man.
Damn.
Hey, listen.
Hey, can I bring out
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to go into the whole mix and the tribes mix? Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, your
I got
family
my
from South
mind is racing.
Carolina?
I got a lot in my head. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, pull that up.
What's the judge? Your family from South Carolina?
Dang, y'all got us on here dapping. What's wrong with these guys, man? We say it again. Bring that up. Yo, let's get them on that. Get the nigger though. Just to land back off of I know we brought the Osage, the robbers of our people, and so forth. Esau, they was cunning. You know, of course, they began with the with enslaving us and conquering us and so forth. But during this time right here, this is like a census from 1915 on the Gadite population in the United States.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, Esau know where all the full-blood Indians, the purity, they know where everybody's at, right? So let me read in the middle section right here. I'll start there. In each of the 5, this is going back to the Osage, that movie Killers of the Flower Moon. In each of 5 adjoining states, New Mexico, Utah, Arizona, Colorado, and Nevada, which comprise a large part of the interior arid plateau, the proportion of full bloods among the Indians exceed 85%.
Okay. It's pretty high.
Iowa and Mississippi, where the Sauk and Fox and the Choctaw tribes, respectively, have preserved a high degree of purity, were the only other states with at least 100 Indians in which more than 85% of the Indians were full bloods. Of the states in which the proportion of full bloods was at least 70% were California, Idaho, South Dakota, and Wyoming. The proportion was between 55 and 70% in Louisiana, Montana, Nebraska, Ohio, Oregon, and Washington, and between 40 and 55% in Maine, Michigan, Minnesota, New York, North Dakota, Texas, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. So this is the point right here. The proportion of full bloods was frequently higher in the states with a large Indian population. A notable exception is Oklahoma, which has by far the largest number of Indians, but reported a small proportion of full bloods, 36.6%. This low proportion in Oklahoma is no doubt due in part to the fact that the possession of valuable lands by the Indians encourages intermarriages between whites and Indians, and that persons with very little Indian blood are anxious to establish their claims as members of the Indian tribes in order that they may be entitled to participate in the distribution of lands and monies belonging to the 5 civilized tribes in Oklahoma.
Right.
So that goes back what happened with the Osage. They came in and they try to, establish their claims because of the oil. Because Esau, the Trail of Tears, they moved us to those lands, but they didn't realize they put us on valuable land.
Rich land. Yep.
So they like, oh snap, we put them. So now
Let's marry them and
we got to get it back somehow.
Yep. And that's funny. We bring that. That's funny because we're going to go into that also regarding Esau marrying us and taking over our possessions. Get Isaiah 42:24. Everybody, give me Ezekiel 7.
Hey, Deke.
Yeah.
I was going to mention, too, about the 5 civilized nations.
Yeah.
A lot of it, when you look into the history, like you were just talking about marrying into the tribes, the slave owners or the conquistadors and all of them, they would marry one of the chief's daughters, and their seed will be taken in and accepted by the tribe. And eventually that child will become the head of that tribe.
Yeah.
That happened a lot of times.
That's what
with
they were doing. And there's an article I have. I don't have it here with me, but I have an article, an old one. I made sure I laminated it too, so it won't fall apart. Where the full bloods and those Edom babies they were fighting each other. They couldn't stand them because the full-bloods knew that those mixed ones were not them. So they would fight each other, and a lot of them became slave masters. A lot of those Indian mothers and Edomite fathers, they were slave masters. A lot of them. So they were not. So they said, "Oh, Indians sell us as slaves." A lot of those Indian slave masters had white daddies. They were not our people. They were mixed. I don't like to say the word mixes. That's not biblical. But I'll say, for lack of a better word, the mixed ones, the Edom ones, the Edomite ones, the fake ones. I'll say fake ones. The fake Indians had a lot of pretty much, who were the minority, by the way. They were not abundant. Make it very clear.
Right.
The mixed breed or fake Indian children were not in the majority. The full-bloods were the majority. But the mixed ones, because they gained their wealth, they intermarried into the wealthy, Gadite tribes and so forth. They got their wealth from that, and they started to get slaves. Now, you did have Native Americans, understand, that were pure blood, that did have slaves. Yes, and the conditions were this. They had to have slaves to keep their land. So in order for you to keep your land, nigga, Indian, you got to have niggas on the land and work it. Or we will take your land from you and enslave you with the niggas. That was the conditions. So, and he says Edom also had, Edom had Native Americans keep their land and live on it, but they basically made the Gadites tenants of their own land. Mm-hmm. So if you want to keep your land or live on your or continue to live on your own land, you have to have the Negroes work the land. Damn. That was the conditions. And then you did have some civilized northern kingdom they were indoctrinated and Europeanized. But the image again you had before earlier, they were Europeanized. And so they were, of course, they were given that European set of not this one, no, not that.
The old picture, kill the Indian,
keep the man.
Keep the man, that image. Yeah.
This right here. So this happened also. So a lot of these particular natives here were Europeanized mentally and were forced to, treat their brothers, us, like niggas. That happened also in small instances. But overall, at the end of the day, they got enslaved too. They was conquered. And a lot of those mixed breeds or fake ones gained the reparations and so forth in the casinos. That's them.
Hey, D, if we got time, I just pulled up an example of what you were talking about.
Yeah.
One of the leaders of the Creek Nation. He was called, I posted in the group if it's all right.
You got it. Yeah.
Okay. If you pull it up on the group, I just screenshot just the first paragraph. So this was one of the leaders of the Creek Nation. His father was white, but his mother was
native.
Yes, native. And he became accepted into it and began eventually to lead that tribe.
Wow.
So it says, William McIntosh, also known as Tash Kanu Hakti, white warrior, was one of the most prominent chiefs of the Creek Nation between the turn of the 19th century and his execution in 1825. He was a leader of the lower towns, the Creek, who were adapting European American ways and tools to incorporate into their culture. He became a planter who owned slaves and also had a ferry business.
Ferry business.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah. That's an example of them assuming our identity, intermarrying with us, and then taking slaves. That's a prime example. He's one of many examples, but they were not the majority. All right? Now, of course, down the line, he may have had a daughter, and then she may have met a Native American man, and they call that the return. I forgot the word in Spanish, but they call it the return, where a mestiza, which is a native girl with a white father, oftentimes Esau would smash Native American women, but they weren't, they considered Native American women animals, so they'd smash them, make kids with them, treat them like niggas, and treat their kids like niggas, and they make them go and marry a slave or a native slave, and they return back to their kind anyway. That happened also. Ezekiel 7:20. But at the end of the day, Christ said, my sheep hear my voice. We're scattered all over the place. It is what it is.
Book of Ezekiel, chapter 7 and verse 20. As for the beauty of his ornament, he set it in majesty.
Yeah.
But they made the images of their abominations and of their detestable things therein.
Yeah.
Therefore have I set it far from them, and I will give it into the hands of the strangers for a prey.
So we begin to put our idols, we start to defile our own land and our own temple. And so the Lord said, because you guys want to defile what I gave you, I'm going to give it into the hands of somebody else. That's what he's saying. Read on.
And to the wicked of the earth.
He gave our land and our possessions, our land, our temple into the wicked of the earth. That would be the so-called white, all nations, but the white man primarily today, the Israeli. Go ahead.
For spoil, and they shall pollute it.
For a spoil, and they shall pollute it. This happened countless times. It happened with Babylon, happened with the Greeks, it happened with the Romans, and it happened now with America. Okay, Israel. Go ahead.
My face will I turn also from them.
From us. Go ahead.
And they shall pollute my secret place.
Go ahead.
For the robbers shall enter into it and defile it.
The robbers shall enter into our temple and defile it. Go ahead. Not only is the temple his literal temple, the temple is us too.
Right.
They came into us and defiled us too. It goes both ways. Go ahead.
Make a chain.
Make a chain for judgment. Go ahead.
For the land is full of bloody crimes.
Make a chain to enslave us. Make a chain. Put us in chains is what he's saying. Make a chain because we were doing evil to each other. So God said, you guys going to be gangster to each other, huh? I got something for you. I'm going to send an even worse gangster than you. That's what I'll do. I'm going to send a nation to do to you what you do to each other all the time. But worse. Read on. Read again.
Make a chain. For the land is full of bloody crimes.
Bloody crimes, as an example, is Philadelphia. Bloody crimes is California.
Right.
Bloody crimes is New York.
Right.
Bloody crimes is Baltimore. Bloody crimes is D.C.
Chicago.
Bloody crimes is Chicago. Bloody crime. There's bloody crime. You find our people, there's bloody crimes.
Haiti.
Shootouts. Haiti, Jamaica, Trinidad. They call the state of emergency, Trinidad. They have called National Guard over there. Niggas over there is wilding out. They wilding. The land is full of bloody crimes. We were doing terrible things to each other. The same way we're doing now. We were doing in our own land back then. Oh, the white man made us this way. No, nigga. No, he didn't. The white man reinforced our bad behavior that was already present. He did not, oh, whoever park in my environment. No. No. You were always that way. He reinforced our bad behavior, our bad habits. He still doesn't make you that way. He puts you in positions where it's just further, he exploits it and profits from it. But we've always had that in us. That's always been in us. Hating each other, colorism, fighting each other. That's been our thing for centuries. Before the white man was even a thought, we were doing that evil stuff. Cain killed Abel. The white man wasn't behind that. That was a nigga that killed his brother. That was before the white man came around. Long before. Damn. So we can't say, oh, the white man. No, the white man was, I'm not going to sit up here and say the white man's not responsible to some degree. Because he did put us in situations where we're forced to go that direction. But understand that propensity that's already in us to do it. He just the movie Dark Knight, where Joker, because he won in the end. He basically won the movie. He won. He said sanity. He said sanity. He said sanity. He said it's like gravity. All it needs is a little push. And he started laughing because the guy Harvey Dent, he was the White Knight of Gotham. He was a detective. He was locking up all the criminals, locking them up left and right. Gangster, he was tough. The streets feared him. And Batman said, hey, this guy's so good, I might quit. I'm going to retire and get married. Because he was doing this thing. But Joker was like, nah, there's a darkness in him. I'm going to exploit it. I'm going to use it because he had a dark side to him and Joker saw it. And he killed Rachel. He killed Rachel, his woman, and Harvey went HSH. Got burned. He killed them, tried to kill them both. But Batman saved one. He said, save Rachel. Batman was like, nah, you're more important. But he was already broken. And Joker knew that Batman was going to save him over Rachel. He knew. He said, the way you leaped after her, remember he went to the party. He said, the way you leaped out, I thought you was dead. He said, okay, you're not. So I'm just going to capture both of them. But when you watch the movie, they have it here, the scene? Yeah, madness. Go to that part. Yeah, let's bring it back some. Scene is heavy. This is Esau here. Right there.
You truly are incorruptible, aren't you? Huh? You won't kill me out of some misplaced sense of self-righteousness. And I won't kill you because you're just too much fun. I think you and I are destined to do this forever. You'll be
Fast forward some.
Maybe we could.
You're right there. Yeah, right there. Right there's good.
That it's full of people.
I can't stand his voice. I'm trying to fast forward it.
Until their spirit breaks completely.
There we go. Go back some. Right there, he said. So Batman said, "There's some good in people." It's like I got throat cancer. I can't stand it. But anyway,
Their spirit.
yeah.
breaks
Go back some. Go back some. Right there.
To believe in good. Until their spirit breaks completely.
Pause. Until their spirit breaks completely. He said, because Israel, our people, our spirit was broken. And they put us in ships and brought us over here. They broke us. Through slavery, all that. They broke us. I'll give them that. But that evil that was in us was always there. But watch. Read on. Play on.
Until they get a good look at the real Harvey Dent. Huh? And all the heroic things he's done. You didn't think I'd risk losing the battle for Gotham's soul in a fist fight with you.
Pause. So Joker said, I didn't do all of this to fight with you. Because I know everyone hates you already. You wasn't the guy I was going after. Go ahead.
You need an ace in the hole.
Pause. Because Harvey Dent was the hero of Gotham. He said, I don't want to destroy you. I'm not interested in you. Harvey was the one I was going after. Go ahead, watch.
Mine's Harvey.
Harvey. Go ahead.
You do.
What'd you do? Go
I
ahead.
took Gotham's White Knight and I brought him down to our
Level. Pause.
And what?
I took Gotham's White Knight and brought him down to our level. That's what Esau said. Okay, you niggas already evil. There's a dark side to y'all. I'm gonna make you like me. I'll make you worse. Or I'll reinforce the bad behavior in you. When you watch the movie, Harvey had he had a dark side to him. You watch his little hint. She's like, this dude got a dark side to him. Go ahead.
It wasn't hard.
It wasn't hard.
This, as you know, is
Go back.
like,
He said it wasn't hard. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
as you know, is like
Go back. Right there.
It wasn't hard. See, madness, as
Go
you
back a
know,
little
Go back a little more.
Actually, go back.
Like, go back, not just 2
Right there.
seconds,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
fight with you. You need an ace in the hole. Mine's Harvey. What did you do? I took Gotham's White Knight and I brought him down to our level. It wasn't hard. See, madness, as you know, is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
Pause. And he won. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. So that's why the movie's the best, because he won. The villain won. So Esau said, okay. Esau doesn't just conquer people. He studies them. He analyzes them. He says, these guys hate each other. I see it already. I can use this. They're divided among themselves. I would let them fight among themselves, and when the smoke clears, whoever's the victor, I align myself with them. And then I'll conquer them myself. Then I'll gain wealth and prosperity by exploiting the evil that's already in them. You think when Satan went to Eve, he didn't see what was in her already? He knew she had that hate, that envy for Adam. He knew. He said, this woman wants to be God. Oh, I got something for her. I can't get him. Eve was it wasn't Adam Satan was out there. Eve was the ace in the hole. I'll get her.
Hey, the fact that he went to her and not Adam proves a point that he was watching to see how do I confront this.
Yeah. It's the same thing with us. He saw setbacks, said, I'm going to find a way. Because it says the land is full of bloody crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Nations is watching it. Look at these dudes. There's God's people doing that. Look what they doing. They watched us and conspired and sat in the darkness and waited and said, we're going to conquer these people. These guys are stupid. Read it. Verse 23 again.
Yes, sir. Make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes.
Come on.
And the city is full of violence.
The city is full of violence. full of violence. That's us before the nations came in there. Go ahead.
Wherefore, I will bring the worst of the heathen.
Hear what God said? Because you guys are the worst to each other, I'm going to bring the worst of the nations, that's the so-called white man, to you, against you. Go ahead.
And they shall possess their houses.
They will possess your homeland, the Americas and Israel. Go ahead.
I will also make the pump of thine strength. Sorry.
No,
I will also make the pump of the strong to cease.
The pump of the strong is us. I will make the pump, the pride of us, the strong. We felt, remember, we was warriors. We were mighty men, mighty men. No one can stand against us. He said, the Lord said, nah, I'll make you guys weak now. I'm going to take your power from you. Go ahead.
And their holy places shall be defiled.
Your holy places shall be defiled. Read on.
Destruction cometh.
Destruction cometh. Go ahead.
And they shall seek peace, and there shall be
You're
none.
going to run somewhere where it's peaceful, and you will find no peace. Run to America, you'll find no peace. Run further into Africa, you'll find no peace. Run to the Pacific Islands, you'll find no peace. I'm going to have you destroyed everywhere you go because you are a bunch of violent, evil black and brown people. And make your oppressors, your conquerors, successful in destroying you and wealthy in destroying you and mock you and whip your behind and rape your daughters and rape your sons and rape you sometimes in front of your wives, if need be. Yeah.
Sorry, D. That go with Ezekiel 23 and 24.
Let's get that. Yeah. And give me Hosea 4:1.
Ezekiel chapter 23 and verse 24. And they shall come against thee with chariots, wagons, and wheels, and with an assembly of people, which shall set against thee buckler and shield and helmet round about. And I will set judgment before them, and they shall judge thee according to their judgment.
Yeah, they're gonna do you according to their judgment. They're gonna do you what they want to do. Right. Make you follow behind their judgments, their laws. Jump up to verse 22.
Verse 22. Therefore, O Aholibah, thus saith the Lord God.
That's us. Go ahead, Aholibah. Go ahead.
Behold, I will raise up thy lovers against
Because
thee.
we love the nations. We love the nations above our own people. Go ahead.
From whom thy mind is alienated.
From whom your mind is alienated. I mean, you say the hell with God. I love this nation over here. Go ahead.
And I will bring them against thee on every side.
I'm going to give you an example of mind is alienated. Mind is alienated when you hear Negroes say things like you're a race hustler. Or you're a racial, or you're into racial idolatry, or when you hear a Negro, I like to say nigger because that word will be in my vocabulary forever. When you hear a nigger say you are a race hustler or racial idolatry, that nigga loved the nations 9 times out of 10, because Marcus Garvey was a race hustler, Malcolm X was a race hustler. Patrice Lumumba was a race hustler. The Black Panthers were race hustlers. Nat Turner, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Toussaint Louverture were race hustlers, nigga.
With the music, bro. With the music.
Y'all pissed me off, bro. Y'all pissed me off with this BS, bro. These were race hustlers.
They were for their people. Nationalists.
But they were nationalists, Pan-Africanists. But y'all Negro, Huey P. Newton, Fred Hampton, race hustlers. But y'all niggas on here with your white girlfriends and baby mamas,
Yeah.
talking about some race hustler. Y'all niggas make me sick, bro.
Speak your truth, Pete.
Y'all just full of crap, man. Y'all piss me off with your bullshit.
Yeah.
Any man who's married to a white woman or dealing with her, you don't say nothing, man. Don't talk. You don't care about your own vagina you came out of. You on some foreign coochie. You don't talk some mess about some race hustle. Please, man. Stop. What we got? We got a text?
We got a text.
Oh. Y'all crazy, bro. Y'all crazy up here, man. What we got?
Let's go to the text.
Hang it out.
All right.
Yeah.
It says, the show American Primeville on Netflix shows this history. I was actually shocked at how much they showed our fall. They even have fringes.
You know, we ain't gonna watch it. What's it called?
Primeval.
Yeah, that's about Esau
Yeah.
coming over to take it
Oh,
over.
Primeval.
Gad.
Primeval.
Yeah.
Primeval.
Primeval. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that. Primeval on Netflix. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll watch it today. Lord's will. Sounds good. Sounds good. But yeah, like I was saying, man, and understand, I'm not brothers. I understand our brothers have, they have opinions. They feel like because I know some brothers. You do have some jakes out here that do try to perpetuate, blackness and make money out of it. I understand that. But that word, I don't like that word, race hustler. I don't like that term because first and foremost, we are a race, and as Deacon Asaph said yesterday in our conversation, we've been hustled as a race. Our race has been hustled. So you have to put emphasis on the race because we are a fractured people. We're arguing about who's black, who's not. He speaks Spanish, she ain't real black. He Latino, he too light, her hair too fine. His hair's not curly enough, his nose ain't wide enough. We are a fractured people. So race is a very, very important basis to build the foundational black people. You understand? So I don't like to hear that term, racial idolatry. When other nations are about their race, they don't receive the same slack. Ayllón is about their race, they call it nepotism. Nepotism. Look out for their own people for business and so forth. But when we do it, you're race hustling. I don't like that terminology. I don't like it. It sounds very coonish. When I think World War I or II, there was Germany, World War I, when they had the black people enlisted in the army, the Americans had the blacks in the army, they would have the Germans sit at the table with them. These are enemies. The white man, American man would have the German white folks sit at the same table, niggas had to sit somewhere else. And the black man was enlisted in the American army. And when the Germans got captured, the white man would have the Germans captors sitting at the table with them while the niggas had to go somewhere else.
It's an evil world we live in.
So white folks understand, regardless of differences, they're the same. It don't matter whether they speak German or not. They said they're the same. And on top of that, when the World War was over and the smoke cleared, they had Operation Paperclip, where they gave these German people jobs. They gave these German scientists and whatever jobs, and we changed their names, all of that. So white folks will be at each other's throats, but they understand, I hate your guts, but we can't let the niggas rule. Or the world stop when niggas start gaining power. When we start to come together, they put, whoa. Hold on a second, hold on. Hitler, relax. Niggas over there doing something. Let's go over there.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. They'll fight, throw bombs at each other, invade each other's lands, but they start seeing black folks like Marcus Garvey was doing. They say, no. Whoa, wait a minute. This nigga's doing something over here. He got ships. Oh, wait, we'll fight tomorrow. This niggas is doing. They understand that.
To this day.
Remember Hoover? Remember Hoover, that statement he made during Vietnam and so forth, all the wars they was having, he said, the real threat is here.
Yep.
Negro
unity. He said Negro unity is the biggest threat to white supremacy.
Hey, D, you know what that remind me of too in Exodus.
Hosea 4:1. Go ahead, say.
Go.
No, I'm saying, and when he said Negro unity, our people that have that mindset, they think he was just talking about the Negroes here in America. He was talking about globally.
Yeah, globally.
Yes.
He understood that.
Yep. And Garvey did too.
Yep.
Garvey understood it too. Yeah. Give me Hosea 4. We're going to go and break after this. Hosea 4.
Hosea chapter 4 and verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
He has a problem with us in our land. Go ahead.
Because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land.
Go ahead.
By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out.
It spreads. Go ahead.
And blood toucheth blood.
People, we kill each other. The land is filled with bloody crimes and violence. It's the same thing that was happening among us. We were robbing each other, killing each other, stealing from each other, adultery, fornication. We were doing all the things you see us do now, we were doing back then before any European influence. It's only worsened now because we're around because now we've adopted the worst behavior of nations around us, the white man primarily. But that behavior was always there. It's just the bad behavior that was already in us has been reinforced in us now. Now it's a norm. It's become the norm. But we've always had that in us. Always been there. That hatred for each other, fighting each other, killing each other. It's always been. That's the law. God gave us a law. Leviticus 19, verse 17. Leviticus 19, Christ said it before he left us. This law is repeated throughout the Bible over and over and over and over again. Leviticus 19, 17.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
That law is a very small verse, but it has a heavy impact on the people. Read again.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
You shall not hate your brother in your heart. Go ahead.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
You shall in any wise rebuke or correct your brother when you see him going away from God's laws, or sister going away from God's laws. Go ahead.
And not suffer sin upon him.
And not allow them to sin, because it breaks out. It spreads. Sin is infectious. It's contagious. Read on.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
You shall not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. That's your race. Against the children of your people, your race, your nation. Go ahead.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Your neighbor is the children of your people. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. But when you despise yourself, you will begin to despise your people. That's why race is very important to build anything. You must have an ethnic integrity and ethnic pride. There's this white dude I saw, I forgot what movie it was or what show it was, where the guy says that, I forgot what the clip was, but the white man basically said he lacks racial anger. When you lack racial anger, you can't get nothing done. Racial anger is an integral part of bringing the nation together. You have to understand, when you watch the movie Malcolm X, and Malcolm X was sitting and watching TV, and they showed the scene of us being hosed down and dogs being sicked on us and us being beat with nightsticks. When he was watching that, it fueled him. It fueled him. It motivated him to say, okay, this is terrible. You need, racial anger is of necessity. When you lack racial anger, you're a waste of nut. You're a waste of sperm. I'm gonna tell you straight to your face. Racial anger is pivotal. Oppression maketh the wise man mad. That's what God says. All these Pan-Africanist leaders and leaders and so forth of Africa or the Americas had a certain level of racial anger towards inequality of their people and injustice. So to throw out terms like race hustler or racial idolatry, these are terms you usually find coming out of the mouth of Negroes who've sold out. They're well off. They got them white friends. They got white man money. They got white women. They got white men, whatever it is. And they're already married to the white man. They don't care about their people. You can't listen to them. You can't take them seriously. All right?
They're better off on a toaster strudel.
Yeah, you're better off just not alive. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You're better off just like Christ said, hang a millstone from your neck and catch yourself into the sea. That's a huge toaster strudel. I don't know what just happened or how he got. I don't know what's going on. So we're gonna just move on to the break from that.
I know what he meant, but
I think I did too. So I'm gonna move past it. So all right, wow. Let's just we'll be back after the break. Toaster strudel. What the hell is happening?
And gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
We've been scattered worldwide, and that's our mission, to regather. James 1:1. James 1 verse 1. Now you know who you are. You're the Israelites, the Bible speaks of. Right.
James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad.
To the 12 tribes scattered abroad.
Greeting.
Greetings. Hello. Shalom.
Captain Kimuel here, and we're at the Abaco radio station where we're going to be interviewed by Pastor Silver Mills. And we're going to go in and we are going to set the record straight.
Like every other pastor, they mention how big their congregation is. They mention all the stuff that they have from their ministry.
Now, when you say we who?
Whosoever, Gentiles, Jew, Greek.
But here's the
Because
problem.
I know-
Here's the problem.
I know
Jesus
that
Jesus didn't do that.
I know that.
Jesus didn't do that.
Are you serious?
Matthew 5:24,
Listen.
15:24.
Listen.
Jesus didn't do that.
And that man of sin
And that there's a man of sin that deceives us to put an image of him as God.
be revealed.
He has to be revealed. So if it doesn't matter to you, you're not the one that's going to reveal him. Somebody has to reveal him. That's what the Bible says. I'm going to tell you something. A lot of stuff is going on right here on the island that the Christian church is silent to. And they don't like being called out about it. We're here, and the Spirit of the Lord is going to prevail on the island of Abaco. And with that, you say shalom.
Enseñas muy bien, entiendes muy bien las cosas, es una manera clara y firme. Las palabras, ellos están firmes en la fe para que la gente entienda lo que realmente es la verdad del Cristo.
Ser obedientes a la ley de Dios.
We need more bombs. I didn't know about gas. Yes. Bombs over bad. We have to hire them. Oh, baklava.
What's in it, Joseph?
I tell you what the problem is that they're everywhere.
Who?
Our plans are being foiled every day.
What plans?
The black Hebrew Israelites, they're everywhere. They went to Papua New Guinea. They even went to Greece.
What does that mean?
It means they're causing me to lose my hair. What's just so funny?
Joseph, you fool! Your hair already bald.
Hold on, I got a notification. Oh no, great ghost of Palestine!
What is it?
Oh, we are doomed.
What does it say, Joseph?
Oh, they found the tunnels!
Wait.
No!
Gentlemen, we have a more serious matter to discuss. Look, they're doing a land blitz. This is getting out of control.
What is a land blitz?
A land blitz, man. Look, they're trying to buy their own land, right? To grow their own food, have their own sanctuaries for their own holidays. Look, this is getting out of control, all right? Look, it says here, you read this?
We're back. We're back from the break. Hope you guys had time to use the bathroom, get yourself together before coming back to the show. You were saying, Abaddon, you were saying now?
Yes, like he was talking about how America tries to push away that racial anger.
Yeah.
But all throughout the scriptures, God wants you to be angry.
Yeah.
Because he himself is angry.
Yep.
So I'm going to read that for you. Psalms chapter 7 and verse 11 says, God judgeth the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day.
God is angry with the wicked every day. God is angry every day. Every day he's angry. But the black man has been trained through Christianity, through politics, through all these philosophies of the earth to be happy. God is love. He's love. And that's Christianity. Because God is love, but he's anger.
Right.
He's not just subject to one emotion. Otherwise, we're better than him. He's subject to all emotions, but he's angry at the wicked every day. Now, give me Ezekiel 7 again. I didn't finish it.
Yes, sir.
And read 25. We're going to read to the bottom of it.
Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 25. Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none.
Go ahead.
Mischief shall come upon mischief.
Mischief after mischief shall come against us. Go ahead.
And rumor shall be upon rumor.
Go ahead.
Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest, and counsel from the ancients.
They're going to run out to ask our leaders for help, and they ain't got no vision, no understanding at all. Go ahead.
The king shall mourn, and the prince shall be clothed with desolation.
Come on.
And the hands of the people of the land shall be troubled.
Watch.
I will do unto them after their way.
I'm going to do unto you after your way. Go ahead.
And according to their deserts will I judge them.
According to your own deserts. What you be doing to each other, I'm going to have them do it to you. Go ahead.
And they shall know that I am the Lord.
So we think, oh, the white man did such terrible things to us, and he did. But we were doing it to each other too. Esau, the Most High just raised up the worst of the heathen to do it to us, but worse. That's the difference. We got a text?
Yes.
What we got?
Let's get that text. Zoom in. Come on, make it full screen.
What we got?
Damn, bro, you made it worse.
Man, he made it worse. I can't even read it myself.
My man forgot how to use that joint.
He trying to read it himself.
There we go. Let's say.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. I guess
the X on the right up there.
Yeah. I mean, I can get it now. Shalom, Judah. Shalom. Judah doesn't realize at the same time J. Edgar Hoover was fighting against us in America on the island of Puerto Rico. He was going against Pedro Albizu Cambos, stopping Ephraim's movement.
Wow. Wow. Well, there you go. So on two different fronts, he's fighting against us on two fronts. Over here and over there in Puerto Rico. It's not a coincidence. Is there more?
That's it. So Negro unity, he's not just talking about black people.
No, he was referring to us
Israelites.
everywhere. Israelites everywhere. Not just FBAs.
They don't just call the black people here Negroes.
Right. And then you had Marcus Garvey. They had a problem against him also. He wasn't a black American. He came from the islands.
Right.
He was a problem too. In fact, his movement,
unity. That's
his movement motivated a lot of the black Americans today.
Right.
And back then. He had millions of followers. Millions of them. So I don't know, man, that FBA thing, man, this seems, I mean, I could be wrong, but it just comes off very divisive to me.
Yeah.
Sounds very, very divisive. And like I said before, our people come from all different parts of the world. Our people are found everywhere. You talk about being free over here. If we're not free anywhere, we ain't free. You try and get reparations for us here, but if we're not free anywhere else, freedom here don't matter to me. God wants Israel to be free all over the earth, not just here in America. I don't know what that's about. Where we at?
It's one more question.
Go ahead.
It says, is having racial anger the same as Ephesians 4:26 then? Which is be ye angry.
Yes, yes it is. It's the exact same thing. Be ye angry and sin not. Because you got to learn how to channel that anger. Channel it with the word of God. Channel it.
Ecclesiastes 7:7.
Yep. 7:7. Oppression maketh the wise man mad. Give me Daniel 11, verse 14. Like that show, man, American Gods, bro. That scene is bad. And he was like, "Oh, he get that scene, man. Get that scene is bad, man."
When he says,
"Yeah, let's get angry. Yeah, let's get anger gets sh done." American gods.
It should be on a slave ship, I believe.
Yeah, on the slave ship. Yep. Daniel 11 and verse 14. Why are you looking for that?
Book of Daniel, chapter 11 and verse 14. And in those times there shall many stand up against the king of the south. Also the robbers of thy people.
The what?
The robbers of thy people.
The robbers of your people who took your land also and your identity as well. Go ahead.
Shall exalt themselves.
Shall exalt themselves as the people of God. Go ahead.
To establish the vision.
To establish a vision means they're going to take our land over and they're trying to take all the land back. Syria, Iraq, Iran, they're trying to take all of it back to establish the vision that they're God's people when they're not. Go ahead.
But they shall fall.
They shall fail in this attempt. It's going to establish World War III. We are in the midst of the beginning stages of World War III. Read that now?
Say go play it.
Play it. You can play it now.
Oh, it's again disclaimer.
Read verse 36.
Verse 36. And the king shall do according to his will.
This king or kingdom shall do according to his will. Go ahead.
And he shall exalt himself.
He shall exalt himself. The white man shall exalt himself. Go ahead.
And magnify himself above every god.
And make himself, with Christianity is the one that's exalted above all everything that's a god. That's the top religion. He'll magnify himself as God the Father, as the Son, as the prophets, as the angels. Go ahead.
And shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods.
And then speak marvelous things against the God of gods and pass laws that go against God. Go ahead.
And shall prosper.
Prosper. Going back to the Job 12. They'll prosper and be secure. Go ahead.
Till the indignation be accomplished.
Until the destruction is established. Go ahead.
For that is determined shall be done.
Go ahead.
Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers.
Say no, it's not referring to Antiochus, because Antiochus Epiphanes acknowledged the God of his fathers. This white man here does not. You know, all that he doesn't care. He becomes God now, especially after World War II. When they dropped that bomb, it said, "Nah, there is no Christianity. That's nonsense. We're God." Go ahead.
Nor the desire of women, nor regard any God. For he shall magnify himself above all.
He will magnify himself as God. Become secular, pretty much. Go ahead.
But in his estate shall he honor the God of forces.
Wealth, money. God of money, forces is wealth, oil, drugs. That's the God now. That's the God they trust in. Gold, oil, and drugs. That's the God that they trust in your back of your money. In God we trust. Gold, oil, and drugs. Go ahead.
And a God whom his fathers knew not shall he honor with gold and silver.
That'd be Christianity. Go ahead.
And with precious stones and pleasant things.
That goes back to the trade. That goes to the shipping company, the East India Company, West India, with silver, gold, and precious things. Go ahead.
Thus shall he do in the most strongholds with a strange God, whom he shall acknowledge and increase with glory. And he shall cause them to rule over many.
Them means he's going to have this European family, his people, take different portions of land and colonize it. Parts of Africa, colonize it. Parts of the Americas, or America period, colonize it. Same thing. The Philippines, colonize, same thing. Go ahead.
And shall divide the land for gain.
And shall divide the land for gain. That goes to Israel being divided for gain. Africa was divided for gain. America was divided for gain. They call it the Berlin Conference, the scramble for Africa, where they divided for gain. America, independence, divided for gain. Go ahead. Israel is also divided for gain. Go ahead.
And at the time, verse 40, verse 40 now.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And at the time of the end shall the king of the south push at him. And the king of the north shall come against him like a whirlwind.
We're going into World War III. Go ahead.
With chariots and with horsemen and with many ships.
Warships. Go ahead.
And he shall enter into the countries and shall overflow and pass over.
41.
He shall enter also into the glorious land, and many countries shall be overthrown. But these shall escape out of his hand, even Edom and Moab, and the chief of the children of Ammon.
Going into prophecy as well. So now, go back to 2 Maccabees 5. So this is going to get to the history of Antiochus, but also future, because Antiochus acknowledged God his father. So Antiochus is oftentimes used as a central figure for Edom, how Edom behaves, how Edom is today. 2 Maccabees 5 and 11. You got that video I want? Let's play it.
You want the scripture first or the video?
No, the video first, I'll forget.
Let me paint a picture of what's waiting for you on the shore. You arrive in America, land of opportunity, milk and honey, and guess what? You all get to be slaves, split up, sold off, and worked to death. The lucky ones get Sunday off to sleep and fuck and make more slaves and all for what? For cotton, indigo, for a fucking purple shirt. The only good news is the tobacco your grandkids are gonna farm for free is gonna give a shitload of these white motherfuckers cancer.
Yeah.
And I ain't even started yet. 100 years later, you're fucked. 100 years after that, fucked. 100 years after you get free, you still getting fucked out of job and shot at by police. You see what I'm saying? This guy gets it.
Uh-huh.
I like him.
Watch.
He's getting angry. Angry is good. Angry gets shit done.
That's it.
Yep.
Anger is good. Anger gets things done.
Hey.
This guy gets it. See, most Cuban Negroes out here watching online, or who push that whole racial idolatry thing, or that race hustler stuff, that terminology y'all use, I don't have that anger. You're not a problem. You're not a problem. You are part of the problem. You're not necessary. But God can't use you. He can't use. You can do your little, do your pod. I'm gonna say little, but you do your pod, because these guys have large subscribers. Many people listen to them. So you guys are influencers, but you're not. Your influence is not pivotal in a godly sense. So what I mean by that is that a lot of these guys they talk about race hustling or racial idolatry, but y'all are argument hustlers. You sit down in a room with a bunch of creatures that God made biologically illogical, and you argue back and forth with them, and it goes nowhere. They're gonna be hoes. They're gonna do what they want to do. They're gonna walk around trying to be white, blonde hair, long ass Spider-Man eyelashes, Edward Scissorhand nails. And you argue back and forth with them for an hour and change, and you getting all these hits from what they call it, not PayPal. The thing is called no, the thing.
The money?
Yeah, the money they get. Forgot they call it.
Like the super chats and stuff.
Super chats and something else. And they making all this dough, all this money, all this dough, whatever.
Monetizing.
Monetize. I forgot they call it. Hit me up on something. I forgot they call it. But they're arguing back and forth with women, basically, who are biologically emotional, biologically illogical based upon their emotions, and you're arguing back and forth with them, and you're arguing logic with them. And these arguments generate controversy. So we could say, what are you, controversial hustlers? Do we call that? Is that what you fall under? Because that's what it is. Because they don't change. They're gonna leave there and go, I feel what I feel, and they leave and they go back to being hoes and whatever they was doing.
Right.
You argue back and forth with these things. Patreon, thank you, Patreon. You got Patreon accounts. Yeah, subscribe. Go on my Patreon. It's all hustle. It's a hustle.
Y'all on point, man.
You know, so it is what it is. We got a text and we got a Zoom call as well, or just a text? I mean, there's a text say.
Hey, D, I got an article after this.
All right, cool.
Says, are y'all going to go into the book New World Jewry?
We did. We went over to that last week. We went into that book last week. But Lord's what we going to. We got some more in there. I'll go into it again. I do have more in there. I want to pull out. I didn't write down, but I will go into New World Jewry again. He liked that book. He liked that book. I got you. I got you. That book is bad. I'll get some more since you brought it up. It did cross my mind today to bring the book today, but I forgot. Where we at? 2 Maccabees 5 and 11.
D, I get that article real quick.
Oh, get the article, yeah. And he was fired. He was fired from American Guy. Yeah, he was fired from that show. Yes.
Hey, D, all those
too motivational.
All those people talking about don't be racially angry. They ain't no Moses. All they the niggas that was trying to go back to Egypt.
Yeah, that's them.
That's what they are.
Yeah, that's the ones. Oh, the leeks and the melons.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That was them. Where we at? The article?
Nah. You just said it. That the reason he brought that heavy statement out, but
the actor Orlando Jones.
he got fired. He got fired from Esau said that was sending the wrong message to black people.
Yes, you got the article. It says it.
Yeah, it says
go
it
to the article. Go to it.
But who wrote the movie? He didn't write the movie.
No, but he was a writer.
He was a writer.
He was a good writer. And they were for the screen the episodes. He did a lot of he wrote a lot of the material for it, especially for his character.
Right.
And he did that scene so well that when the cameras went off, the people clapped for that performance there. That was like off top.
Right.
You got it? Go ahead and play it.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
You got it there? Go down to the article.
Orlando Jones says he was fired from American Gods.
Uh-huh.
Actor Orlando Jones has claimed that he was fired from American Gods series as his character sends a wrong message for black America.
There you go. It goes back to that Negro unity, anger. There's mad scenes he got. Another scene he has about us being sex trafficked.
Yeah, that was
he goes into that. He goes, another child, snatch, another one gone. That's a bad scene too. Yeah. But go down to he portrayed Mr. Nancy.
Jones portrayed Mr. Nancy, the Ghanaian trickster god Anansi.
Yeah, the Ghanaian trickster god. He was a spider god. Spider, go ahead.
On the Neil Gaiman drama. There will be no more Mr. Nancy. Don't let this MFer tell you they love Mr. Nancy.
That's what he says. Go ahead.
They don't.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to name names, but the new season 3 showrunner is Connecticut born and Yale educated. So he's very smart. He thinks that Mr. Nancy's angry get SH done is the wrong message for black America.
See that? They didn't like that. He said, this character here is too motivational. Nah, get him out of here. So he knew. That scene right there is all over YouTube. And black people was like, yo, that's some good stuff right there. They couldn't do it. Go ahead.
That's right. This white man sits in that decision, making chair, and I'm sure he has many black BFFs who are his advisors, and made it clear to him that if he did not get rid of that angry god, Mr. Nancy, he had started a Denmark Vexy uprising in this country.
Damn.
I mean, what else could it be?
Denmark Vesey was also a black nation hustler too. Denmark Vesey.
Yep.
So
those black people sound like the black people that was coming to the king reporting against Jonathan and Maccabees.
Yeah.
He's starting trouble.
Yeah, he's causing problems. Where we at? 2 Maccabees 5:11.
2 Maccabees chapter 5 verse 11. Now, when that was done came to the king's ear, he thought that Judea had revolted. Whereupon, removing out of Egypt in a furious mind, he took the city by force of arms.
Because Jason Menelaus, I believe, it was a coon.
Yeah.
And basically, he bought his way into leadership through Antiochus. And so there was an uprising among our people. So Antiochus assumed that we were revolting against him based upon this Negro's action. Verse 5.
Verse 5.
Now, when there was gone forth a false rumor as though Antiochus had been dead, Jason took at the least 1,000 men and suddenly made an assault upon the city.
Go ahead.
And they that were upon the walls being put back, and the city at length taken, Menelaus fled into the castle.
Verse 6.
But Jason slew his own citizens without mercy.
Killing his own people. Go ahead.
Not considering that to get the day of them of his own nation would be a most unhappy day for him. But thinking they had been his enemies and not his countrymen, whom he conquered.
Jason and Menelaus are fighting for power. So when the white men saw us fighting each other, these guys are trying to fight against me. Now jump back to verse 11 again.
Verse 11. Now when that was done came to the king's ear,
I'm sorry. These guys that push that whole racial idolatry thing or race or race hustling, you're Jason and Menelaus. That's you. You fall in that category. That's you. That would be you. That'd be you today. Or Herodians. That'd be you today. Or we have no king. We have no king but Caesar.
Yep.
That'd be y'all.
Yep.
That's y'all today. When the Messiah was on trial, it said, "Behold your king." They said, "Nah, Caesar's our king." That's y'all. Go ahead.
Now, when that was done came to the king's ear, he thought that Judea had revolted. Whereupon, removing out of Egypt in a furious mind, he took the city by force of arms, and commanded his men of war not to spare such as they met, and to slay such as went up upon the houses. Thus there was killing of young and old, making away of men, women, and children, slaying of virgins and infants. And there were destroyed within the space of 3 whole days 80,000.
80,000 of us getting killed. Men, women, and children. Infants being killed. Babies being killed. Go ahead.
Whereof 40,000 were slain in the conflict, and no fewer sold than slain.
And just as many were sold in slavery as many as they were killed and murdered. Go ahead.
Yet was he not content with this.
And the white man wasn't content with that. Killing 40,000 and enslaving 40,000. Go ahead.
But presumed to go into the most holy temple of all the world.
He said, I want to go into that temple. That secret place the Lord talked about in Ezekiel 7. Go ahead.
Menelaus, that traitor to the laws and to his own country, being his guide.
The black man, a Negro, a nigger, a house nigger, walked this white man into our temple. Come on in. Come on in. I'll let you in. Go ahead.
And taking the holy vessels with polluted hands.
He started taking the gold. I'll take this for me. Go ahead.
And with profane hands pulling down the things that were dedicated by other kings to the augmentation and glory and honor of the place.
Go ahead.
He gave them away. And so haughty was Antiochus in mind.
He was so, this guy Antiochus was so arrogant and prideful as Trump. It's like a Trump today.
Yep.
Haughty in mind. He was so haughty in mind. Go ahead.
That he considered not that the Lord was angry for a while.
That what?
That the Lord was angry for a while.
Go ahead.
For the sins of them that dwelt in the city.
He didn't understand that God allowed this to happen because he was mad at us. God allowed Antiochus into that temple because he was mad at us. If he had stepped on that temple and we was doing right, he would have got destroyed. He would have gotten his, like Heliodorus, he would have got his ass beat by angels in that temple.
About to say it.
Angels came down personally and beat a white man up with their horses. Their horses and them beat the man up. That's another topic. Go ahead.
And therefore, his eye was not upon the place.
God said, hey, do what you want to do. Go ahead.
For had they had not been formerly wrapped in many sins.
If we were not formally wrapped in our sins, this guy is turning into many today. Oh, man.
Take your time.
Take your time.
I know many back there smiling.
Yeah, y'all need the sound bites, man.
Take your time, man.
Both of them.
Read verse 18.
For had they not been formerly wrapped in many sins, this man, as soon as he had come,
watch this,
had forthwith been scourged and put back from his presumption.
Watch.
As Heliodorus was.
See, he would have got the same ass whipping as Heliodorus got if he had stepped foot in that temple, if he was doing the right by the Lord. But we weren't. So God let it rise. So go ahead in there. Do what you want to do. Go ahead.
Whom Seleucus the king sent to view the treasury.
Go ahead.
Nevertheless, God did not choose the people for the place's sake.
Go ahead.
But the place for the people's sake.
Israel is a people before it's a place. Go ahead.
And therefore, the place itself that was partaker with them of the adversity.
The land underwent adversity along with us. Go ahead.
That happened to the nation. Did afterward communicate in the benefits sent from the Lord. And as it was forsaken in the wrath of the Almighty, so again, the great Lord being reconciled, it was set up with all glory.
Eventually. Go ahead, 21.
So when Antiochus had carried out of the temple 1,800 talents, he
robbed us. The robbers are your people. He robbed the wealth out of it. Go ahead.
He departed in all haste unto Antiochia, waning in his pride, to make the land navigable and the sea passable by foot. Such was the haughtiness of his mind.
The author's saying this guy was so arrogant, he felt he can sail through the land and walk through the water by foot. That's how arrogant he was. I could sail through land by boat, and I could walk through the sea. I could walk through the sea if I wanted to. That's how arrogant he was. And that's how Esau is today in America and Israel. We're gonna take what we want, when we want, how we want, when we want, and drop a nuke on Syria. And what? What you gonna do about it? Nothing. Yeah, we had sex trafficking. So what? What you gonna do about it? Yeah, we not the real Jews. So what? We got the land. Now what you gonna do? What can you do? Arrogance. Go to Babylon Timbuktu.
Hey, can we get First Maccabees 11:21?
Yeah, let's go there.
For the niggas with the.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. You can't forget the niggas. 11:21.
Demetrius and what?
Demetrius and the Jasons. Yep.
Yeah.
First Maccabees chapter 11 and verse 21. Nevertheless, Jonathan, when he heard this, commanded to besiege it still. And he chose certain of the elders of Israel and the priests.
11:21.
Oh, sorry, 23. Verse 21.
Oh man,
He's in his own mind, in his own world. I'm gonna read this.
Go ahead, man.
Verse 21.
Both of them.
Did you ever dream? Did you ever have a dream that did you?
Verse 21.
There we go.
I appreciate y'all, IT. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Then certain ungodly persons who hated their own people.
Right, who hated their own race. Go ahead.
Went unto the king and told him that Jonathan besieged the tower.
That's the thing you said earlier. That Jonathan besieged the tower. They ran and told their own people.
And that's the same thing. That dude got fired.
Orlando. Yes, same thing. They ran. This is gonna cause a problem. You can't have this guy be angry and Nancy. That's not good. He was an angry God. We serve an angry God.
Yep.
He played an angry God. He played an angry black God on television. We serve an angry black God in real life.
Right.
And that thing probably came from deep inside of him too.
Yeah, of course. He's the smart brother. He knows. He knows.
I'm gonna use that and then pretend to be acting. To really put out my frustration.
You have to incite. You have to pull something out of you to pull that scene. Right. That was fantastic. Get to 1061. Same book, 1061.
First Maccabees chapter 10 verse 61. At that time, certain pestilent fellows of Israel, men of a wicked life, assembled themselves against him to accuse him, but the king would not hear them.
Negroes who are wicked life assembled themselves to accuse him, but the king didn't want to hear it because the king was already cool with Jonathan. I think it was Jonathan. They was cool with him. Yeah. But it's the same thing. Wicked Negroes, man, of a pestilent life. Fornicating, making money, hustling. Same thing. Now,
it's more natural to be angry at oppression of your people than to be unangry at it.
Yeah.
So when you go against that anger, you're going against nature itself.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing. Get Babylon Timbuktu, page 50.
That's like seeing your family killed and then you like, let me calm down.
Yeah. Things happen, people die, die all the time.
Mercy.
Hey, I was looking at some numbers, man. That 1,800 talent, that was in the millions.
Wow.
That's how much money he was in today's dollars was he taken from the temple.
Yeah.
Damn.
Get what you got. The hell? Does that mean?
I think so.
Oh, probably was. Go ahead. I was looking at a video earlier of that Brittany Griner chick talking about she could beat a man, and her voice is so deep. I'm gonna say this video. It's like a quick in nature. Yeah, I could beat men. I could beat the man. There's a woman with a man's voice. It was just crazy to me, man. I was like, this is wild to me, man.
Injections is sick.
It's wild, man.
He asked to eat my coach, like, who would he bet on?
He said
I would go to the bank, I'll sell my house, take everything out the ATM, and put it on the man.
Yeah, of course. That's what he said, yeah.
Easy money.
Yeah, that's what he said. So that's what I was looking at earlier. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry. That's another topic. Go ahead. We were just right here.
So it was. There's an absence of
I'm sorry, but that behavior, that homosexuality was in the Bible back then. And Esau created a science that just reinforces it. This chick thinks she a dude. And Esau created a science that allows them to take these pills to make their titties go flat and their voice get deep. And now all of a sudden, she's a man all of a sudden with a vagina. And Esau had a way where he can now extend the clit, make it long, like a penis, so they can play pretend. They're in Pinocchio, a real boy now.
I'm a real boy.
I'm a real boy now. I'm start calling Pinocchio from now on. Where we at? There it is an absence.
There is an absence of rationalization, and extreme fanaticism sets in. So it was with Muhammad. He had come to a point of no return. He became a religious extremist in order to give his people a better life on a rapid scale. Muhammad came to the conclusion that all means of persuasion had been exhausted.
So this is going into another rob of our people. We talked about Israel, the Israelis last week. We're touching about Muhammad again. We touched on Moab, Ayllón, but I'm going back to him again, Muhammad again, because I don't like this dude at all, or his ideology. But let's continue on.
The period of patience was past, and he was now determined to propagate his religion by the sword. For he said, I, last of the prophets, am sent with a sword. The sword is the key to heaven and hell.
This is the same arrogance of Antiochus, but an Arab. Go ahead.
All who draw it in the name of the faith will be rewarded. Muhammad became a martial prophet, and the pagans and stubborn Jews became his victims.
Go ahead.
In the year 627, the Battle of the Falls occurred. The Jewish tribes were defeated by the armies of Muhammad. 700 Jews were gathered in the marketplace.
Gathered where?
In the marketplace.
Marketplace. Go ahead. Slave market. Go ahead.
And offered the alternative, the Quran or the sword.
And then the Quran or the sword for the men. Women went into slavery. And the children. Go ahead.
But the devout Jews were accustomed to martyrdom.
Yeah, we knew what death was. We said, oh, go ahead, kill us. I'm not honoring that. Go ahead.
They did not hesitate in their choice. Muhammad carried out his bestial threat, executed the Jews, and the women were sold.
Like I said, go ahead.
There was another city northeast of Medina called Khaybar. The city was the headquarters of Jewish power in Arabia. After a long siege, the city capitulated to Muhammad.
Capitulated. Go back. Go get that article on the Gabi map of Africa. No. I'm sorry. Of China. Khaybar. Khaybar's in that map. The Gabi map of India. The Gabi map of India. In China, I believe. It's red, the red one, the red and white one. Yep. You're going to find Khaybar here. It should be in India somewhere. Go over to India. Khaybar should be somewhere over here. Let me see. I think it's spelled different. Let me see, Persia. Go down to India real quick. I know Khaybar's on this damn map. I saw it before. Let me see. Go up. Malaysia, Tibet, Balkans. Shoot. I should look for it first before I mention. Let me see. There's an area called Khaybar on this map. It's spelled differently, I believe.
Go down by Arabia. Did he go down by Arabia? Yeah, go over here. It should be somewhere around this area. Right here, right there. Khaybar Jews.
There we go. Yeah, I knew I wasn't bugging out. All praises. Thank you. Khaybar Jews of 1000 BC. So the Jews are here. Arabia. There we go. Khaybar. Right there. Yep. There we go. All praises. I know I wasn't bugging. I know I saw it in this map. And you have Yathrib right there in the bottom. Yathrib. That became Medina when Muhammad conquered it. These are Jewish tribes residing in this area for centuries. Go back to the book now. All praises. Go ahead.
There was another city northeast of Medina called Khaybar.
Yep, northeast. Yep, you saw that on the map. Go ahead.
The city was the headquarters of Jewish power in Arabia. After a long siege, the city capitulated to Muhammad. Under the rulership of Omar, the Jews of Khaybar were transplanted to Syria.
We were depopulated. They took land from us and put us in Syria. Somebody forward. And put us in Syria.
Man, that was a hard one.
Go back on top.
Go back up. Go back up.
Go back up. And where's the part where it says to give his people a better life? He became
a religious extremist in order to give his people a better life on a rapid scale.
Everybody's going for their own people.
Yep.
except us.
By conquering us to make life better for his own people.
Right. The so-called white men do the same thing.
Yep.
The Chinese do the same thing.
Yep.
But we fight against it, or we are racial, whatever they call it.
Yeah, hustlers. He said he became a religious extremist
Right.
in order to give his people a better life on a rapid scale.
And we're doing this to better our people.
Right.
But our own people is against us.
But the difference is that he was a maniac. He was a murdering maniac. We don't kill nobody. This
Right.
guy was killing people and enslaving us, killing us and enslaving us to give a better life for his own people.
That was the zeal for his people.
The zeal he had for his people to overthrow us and take over our lands. Now, what else we got? Well, that's all I wanted. Get me Deuteronomy 28:32 and 41 regarding the women and children being sold. Deuteronomy 28 verse 28:32 and 41.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand.
No might in your hand to get them back. Verse 41.
Verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them.
Why?
For they shall go into captivity.
They shall go into captivity. Now, go back to Babylon Timbuktu again. Give me page 79. Babylon Timbuktu, I want page 79. Go down there. Yep. Speaking of you, watch this.
Speaking of Uganda.
Speaking of Uganda, go ahead.
To the west of Lake Victoria and northeast of the Belgian Congo, it has an organized native government with a tradition of 33 kings and a legendary line that traces back to King David.
So Judah was in Uganda.
Damn.
Okay. Read on. They claim the what?
They claim the highest native civilization in Africa.
All right. So read the legends.
The legends tell of the Uganda people crossing the Nile, remember, beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, centuries upon centuries ago, and subduing all tribes whose country they traversed.
More than likely Hamites. Go ahead.
They claim the highest native civilization in Africa.
So Judah was in Uganda, or is in Uganda, and were in Uganda. Now, I'm touching on that for a reason regarding Uganda. Go to what I sent you in the article, UNESCO. Should be in there. We're going to go to officially. We're going to start at officially. Officially, the slave trade was. So let's search for officially. We'll start there. Right there. Officially, the slave trade was. Right there. Oh, you can't. I'm pointing to it. You can't see it, Jess. Sorry.
Highlight it.
Yeah, right there.
Thank you.
We're going to stop at sides.
Yes, sir. Officially, the slave trade was forbidden in 1873 under British pressure.
Right. We've been going over that for a long time, where they were stopping the trade routes among the Arabs in the Pacific Ocean. But of course, it was done secretly for a long time, but it was stopped by the British first. Go ahead.
But it went on secretly for several years.
There you go. Now, I didn't read this article fully, but there you go. Confirm my point. It went on secretly for years. It is still going on secretly for years. Go ahead.
One of the routes that were used by the traders' caravan started in Ujiji at the shore of Lake Tanganyika.
Well, that's Tanzania today. That's Tanzania today. Go ahead.
It went over 1,200 kilometers and ended in Bagamoyo, just opposite of Zanzibar on mainland Tanzania.
Same thing as the Tanganyika. So Tanzania. Zanzibar. Remember Zanzibar, the Zanz people? Go ahead. It's an island. Go ahead.
Many experts viewed this as the main route of mainly 3 that were documented for East Africa. By now, the list includes the Ujiji-Bagamoyo route as a whole. The idea is not only to protect the still visible remains of the dark past, like Arab forts and other historic buildings or parts of the route that are existing.
Arab forts, slave forts, go ahead.
But also to intensify the research around the topic, to document the memories about the era, and to preserve the culture and the traditions of the communities living along the route.
Come on.
In this regard, there are possibilities of transnational nomination with neighboring countries like Burundi, Democratic Republic of Congo, Uganda,
remember Israel was there,
Kenya, and Mozambique.
Go ahead.
This possibility will be investigated during the nomination process. 6 centers have been identified along the central slave route.
These are slave routes. So these areas listed are part of the slave route, where slaves were taken and shipped off. Go ahead.
To include Bagamoyo, Mamboyo, Mwapa, Kalamatinda, Kawire, and Ujiji Bagamoyo. due to its location along the Indian Ocean.
He did his best.
You might be there. You might be from
Yo,
there.
but yo, it sound good though. Right?
Sounded good.
Sound real
Yeah,
convincing.
it sound
man.
good. Yeah, very
Gumba.
convincing. Bro. Like you really reading it for real.
All praises, man.
That's good. All praise.
Bagamoyo is
Congratulations.
due to its location along the Indian Ocean
Along the Indian Ocean, go ahead.
and being a major harbor and town along the coast of Tanzania.
Watch this.
That played a key role in the East Africa slave trade.
Which ties into the Trans-Pacific slave trade. It all ties in together. The Dutch East India Company is all linked together. Go ahead. Under the Arabs. Go ahead.
Bagamoyo is a place of memory for human suffering and humiliation caused by slavery and the slave trade and the imposition of European colonialism. The population of Bagamoyo groups is the result of the interaction and fusion of different ethnic groups, from the interaction and fusion of different ethnic groups from the hinterland and immediate coastal belt, especially the Wazarama, Wado, the Wawer, and the Waziga,
yeah.
and the interiors, especially the Wanyamawazi and the Wayama. Bagamoyo serves as the terminal which starts from Ujiji. From Bagamoyo, slaves were shipped to Zanzibar.
There we go. Slaves are shipped to Zanzibar. This is the other side of Africa. We always thought the West African slave trade. This is the East. This is the other side. But on the Arabs, from the Arabs, East Africa slave trade. Go ahead.
Where the slave market used to be important slave trade, evidence includes slave and slave descendants. Buildings such as Caravanserai, Von Wisman Block, Old Market, Customs House, and the Old Fort. Also the Freedom Village at the RC Mission premises and the RC Museum that has enough documentation. Mamboyo located in Morogoro region. Coloso district is a very old settlement. Historical landmarks include mango stretch plantations, slave and slave traders' descendants, graveyard for the Wayawizi, remains of Anglican church, and an area where the house belonging to one slave trade was built.
Wow.
Cards, coins, and domestic utensils are available as well. The Mapua, located in Mapua district, Dodoma region in central Tanzania, important landmarks include part of the path at Vingawe.
Yeah.
Village still visible and in use. Others include the Anglican church built at a place.
Anglican. It's Anglican church.
Others include the Anglican church built at a place where the first church was as evidence of missionaries who fought against slave trade.
Yeah.
Descendants of slaves and slave traders are also part of the present community.
Kilamatinde.
Kilamatinde, located in Mayani district, the Singida region. Kilamatinde is another important place on the route where caravan rested at a well.
Dick, hold on. Go back right there. Descendant slaves?
Descendants of slaves and slave traders are also part of the present community.
Right there. Present community, meaning that they're there now.
It says slave. It says present. It says slaves and slave traders
Right.
are present there now.
So that
Descendants of them.
So that means our people is there right now.
Yeah, and the slave traders are still there too. Their descendants are still there.
So why don't them niggas, those camp goes there and
challenge?
Yeah, and teach them over there.
Yeah.
Now they have the horns of the unicorn. Use the internet.
There existing the village. Kilamatande is another important place on the route where caravan rested at a well. The village with Arabic house, market, and late the seat for the German administrative is an important place for information along the route. There exist small Arabic houses that are abandoned. Kazay, Taboro, Kazay was established by traders involved in the East Africa slave and ivory trade on the area given to the traders chief Fandakara of the Anyamayimi in 1852. It rapidly developed.
I was gonna read that. I would skip past that. You all right? Go ahead.
It rapidly developed into a key market center located as it was at an interaction between
We're
the
gonna
traders.
stop where it says sides. Wherever sides is, just stop at sides. I don't know what sides is at this point. I'm lost. Go ahead. He's gonna read it until he sees sides.
We probably already read it.
You might have read it already. Let's keep reading.
Yes, sir. It rapidly developed into a key market center located as it was at an interaction between the trading routes to the coast and those further inland to the Congo and north to what is today Burundi.
Look for sides real quick.
Burundi. That's where you from, right?
That's your family's from, right? Burundi.
Yeah, my mother's from.
Yeah, your mom. Yeah. So that just goes to show that sides.
So when you go,
oh damn, okay, the bottom, okay.
Yeah, when you going over there to establish a camp, bro.
Hey, it's actually being worked on. Isaiah 11:11, they doing their thing.
Okay.
about you, bro.
Oh, we work together.
He worked together.
We Voltron. We all work together as one. By 1871.
By 1871,
Damn.
it was estimated to have a population for 5,000. By the 1890s, the population had grown to about 20,000. The only building of significance that has survived is the Kawara, Livingstone Tembe. The Tembe was built by a wealthy Arab slave trader in 1857.
The Tembe was built by a wealthy Arab, disciples here, a wealthy Arab slave trader in 1857. A wealthy Arab slave trader in 1857. Go ahead.
The owner gave it to Dr. Livingstone. The building contribution continued to be throughout the colonial period and was pronounced historical monuments 100 years later.
Livingstone's that guy that wrote the book about the Bantu being Israelites. Right. Livingstone, not the Livingstone. Go ahead.
And was pronounced historical monuments 100 years later. In 1957, when also major repairs were done on it. Other evidence is a mosque and residence near the Tembe, a well, mango trees, and a coconut and date tree plantation.
Date tree plantations. Go ahead.
Ujiji was the last major trading center of the Central Caravan trade route located on the shores of Lake Tanganyika. It was a trading center for slave and ivory
Go ahead.
coming from different parts of Lake Tanganyika, including eastern region of Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda, and Burundi.
These people were enslaved. These are our people throughout these lands. Beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. That's our people in these areas here. That's why I'm touching on this. This whole article is good because it shows that the slave trade was not just West Africa, it was the East as well. Go ahead.
By 1876, Stanley estimated that Ujiji had a population of 3,000. It is located within Kugama Township, 5 kilometers west of Kugama Railway Station. Important landmarks are a site of former port, no longer existing, coconuts, and mango tree avenue.
Which were plantations. Go ahead.
Usagara, grounds where slaves used to be held and auctioned on a site where the house of the former slave trade by the name of Tupu Tip used. A path running between Ujiji Seminary and Kaluta Primary School through Kagara village to Luchi and beyond, it is clearly seen and improved by big historic mango trees.
You notice it mentions missionaries and mentions plantations because remember in Daniel 11 it said that God would magnify himself above every god, the God of forces, and divide the land. That's what Esau does. He'll divide the land, and then he'll push Christianity and push white supremacy and worship of himself throughout the land as he colonizes it. Through the Americas and through Africa. He does the same exact thing. And if it's the Israelis, they'll go around and convert you to Judaism, to their Judaism, if they find that you know who you are. So our people over there in Papua New Guinea, Israel's over there. Who else? Africa, Nigeria, they go over there. Wherever they find our people, they go there and convert them. That's what they do. They come there, convert the people, quote unquote, and then take the land over. That's what they do. That's their characteristic. So, one more. Give me page 90, Babylon Timbuktu. We're going to land there. Hey. Babylon Timbuktu, page 90. You got something?
Yeah, I sent a picture of when my mother, she had went to Burundi last year.
Okay, show it. That's fine.
If you look on the group, this is a illustration exactly what the book said about the slavery that happened in Burundi.
Okay.
So if you zoom in right there, it's showing you the slave trade that was happening in Burundi with missionaries and being chains on the neck.
That goes back to Daniel 11. Okay, the God of forces will magnify himself and part the land. That's what you're seeing here. These are Burundi. These are our people here. In chains. And you got that's the mangoes there. I think the fruits I mentioned earlier.
Yep.
And there's a missionary right there. The missionary and the conquistadors there. And look in the background, the boats in the background. Go over to the back. We'll bring it out some. See the ship right there? The same ships right there.
Yep.
Damn. And I'm bringing, I guess they're bringing stuff over there or whatever. But that's our people over there. All right? So this is facts here. Now go to page 90 now. I'm going to land on this. The black Jews.
The black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes.
Because remember, we came, we saw, and we took over. That's how we do in Africa. We were the majority pretty much. We got in there. Go ahead.
They carry their culture, history, laws, and written records with them.
The Bibles with us. Go ahead.
This assured them a constant precedent for the development of a higher social organization. Because of the stability of the black Jewish culture, the Jews were not absorbed into the autochthonous population.
Meaning the Hamites didn't absorb us. Well, I'm sorry. We didn't absorb, how I put it? We mixed with Ham, pretty much, and we became the majority. We didn't become Hamites. They pretty much, we became the majority. So we intermingled with their women and made more of us as opposed to them making more of themselves with us. That's what it means. So pretty much, we pretty much took the women of Ham and just took over, and we grew and we outpopulated everyone. That's what it means. We weren't absorbed into heathen nations and became heathens. Okay, that's what it means. Go ahead.
In fact, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes.
Mm-hmm. We absorbed them into us. Go ahead.
The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were an industrious and skillful people.
Come on.
In the Jewish Ghanaian states were found kings.
Ghanaian is Ghana. Ghanaian states were found what?
Kings. Princes. Governors. Generals. Secretaries. Treasurers. Revenue agents. Judges. Architects. Engineers. Doctors. Historians. Language interpreters. Mathematicians. Jewelers. Sculptors. Masons. Carpenters, painters of art, goldsmiths, leather workers,
tanners, go ahead,
potters, armorers, saddlers, blacksmith, agriculturists, etc.
So we had a heavy presence throughout Africa on the west and east coast. So the slave trade was very, very successful because we were in these lands in abundance. Were Hamites there? Yes. But the ones that the white man and the Arabs were targeting were the Israelites among the Hamites that were in the lands. They conquered us. And so we were sold out of these lands. We were the target profit. That's why I showed you the East African slave trade. Most of us are familiar with the West African slave trade, but the Arabs were the forerunners of that slave trade before the Portuguese came along and started to rival them. And then, of course, the Hamites were also involved in that as well. So we're going to go ahead, Jez.
Nah, just to go back, so nobody's confused about that word,
Anotinus.
It just means the aboriginal, the native
Yeah,
population.
the original Hamites that were there, the Nilotes. They did not absorb us. We absorbed them, meaning we mingled with them and we became the majority as opposed to them being the majority. That's what happened. Okay, so that's pretty much what it means. So we're going to stop there. It is 3:37. We're going to go over the time. Hope you guys got some information out of that. We're going to go back into that book. I mean, you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as well. New World Jury. Am I going to go back into that? Yeah, I'll go back into it next week, Lord's will. I'll go into some of that. I'll post some stuff out of there as well. Hope you guys enjoyed the lesson as I enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Lord's will, don't forget to donate to the Booster Club so we can go out to those areas we read about today and reach our people in these areas, Burundi, Tanzania, Uganda. We have congregations out there, actually, Uganda. We had Passover Uganda, I think, last year. So we have congregants out there in these areas. Kenya, Uganda, our people are out there. We are Malawi. We are in these areas. IUIC is about the Lord's business, and the Lord's business is the Lord's people. We are about that business. We go to those areas where our people are, and we teach them, and they're coming in, So all praise be to the Most High for that. Shout outs to IT, and those shout outs to the breakfast team as well. All praises. Announcements.
All right, let's give a hand for that class. All praises. Fire. All right, Israel, make sure you subscribe to Our Hidden History Radio on YouTube, okay? Hit the notification button so you know when we go live. You don't want to miss an episode, okay? Also, subscribe to our Philly channels, IOIC Philadelphia and IOIC Philadelphia in the Classroom, to get the latest camp videos from the deacon, captain, and officers of IOIC Philly. You can donate to Our Hidden History on PayPal, IUIC.PhiladelphiaIsraelUnite.org. In the comment section, put OHH. Donate to the Booster Club also so we can continue to go forth into those countries to spread the gospel of Christ.
Oh, the map is a book written by Ayllón Godby. It's called Lost Tribes and Myth. That's where I get that map from. The red outline. It's a book that was written by a Duke University professor. And that book is a rare book to find or get a hold of. You might be able to get the images of those maps online, but that's the book. It's called Lost Tribes, a Myth by Ayllón Godby. I always refer to it as the Godby map because it's written by Ayllón Godby. If you're asking regarding the map, what it's called. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Last but not least, subscribe to IUIC TV to get exclusive content from the leadership of IUIC. Next. All right. For missing persons, we have Muhammad Sharif. He's 32 years old, male, African-American, hair color black, eye color brown. I did it right.
Praises.
I did it right. All praises. Thank you for that clap. 5'10".
All praises.
You can take what you get.
All praises. 130.
That was a mistake, though. But you think?
130 pounds. Muhammad was last seen on November 15th. Dang. Clothing description unknown. So the brother's been missing for a little while.
Yeah.
So if you do find him, make sure you let the local authorities know. Donate to the land fund. We talk about every class. We need to get that land. We will get that land. So if you believe, sending your donations on PayPal to Israel@israelunite.org. In the comment section, put land. Next. In the moment we've all been waiting for. Shalom, we're seeking your assistance to enhance our national broadcast. Kindly spare a minute to provide feedback.
Bro, why you sound like that, bro? What happened, bro?
I was just, Cap.
Why, you think you're going to get a bad review?
No, I think this is the most important part of every show.
Right, but you making yeah. But we are seeking your assistance now.
Yeah.
You don't sound like, you know what I'm saying?
No,
you know what it
confidence
is?
gone.
He's setting up
I'm being honest. I'm being genuine.
Come on, bro.
You know, we're seeking your assistance to enhance our national broadcast. Kindly spare a minute to provide feedback by answering 5 brief questions.
No, that tone is from him reading like crap today.
Right, that's what I know. That's what I'm saying.
No.
You know you're going to get a bad review. But yeah. Come on, man.
No, this is for
it's all right,
IT.
man. Yo, I'm saying straighten the fibble knees, bro. Let's go. Yeah.
This is what
You're going to do better next week, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
But I'm also going to scan that QR code and talk about Alpha Man.
Oh, my God.
That's all it's about.
It got to be about the IT. Let's talk about Manny. But all praise, spare a minute, hit that QR code. That's it.
All praise to the Most High. So hope you guys enjoyed the lesson. Those I got to go through that book again since you guys want me to go through it some more since y'all enjoyed it so much. And I'm going to see what I can find that can kind of tie back into this since I don't want to go somewhere else. Actually, I won't, but I'm going to try to go on that book and find some more stuff to kind of tie into this lesson plan I have here and see what happens. All right, so Lord's will, we'll bring the book back next week. Hope you guys enjoy it. All right, shalom. Until next time, Most High God bless y'all next week, Lord's will. All right?
Shalom.
God bless.